South Africa, the land that has been witnessing the worst atrocities ever committed in human history, a state that remains an anachronism in the last years of the 20th century. The emergency rule, in force since June 1986, has vested unprecedented powers in the police and the armed forces, leading to killings and detentions without any right to appeal before a court of law. Since then, some 2,500 people have been killed and an estimated 30,000 detained. Of these, 8 to 10,000 are children below the ages of 9 and 18 years. In the carnage that preceded the declaration of emergency, children became a major target of violence. Some 300 children were killed, 1,000 wounded, 1,100 detained without trial, and 18,000 arrested on charges of protest between 1984 and 1986. The increasing role of the jackboot, the near-total clampdown on the media, and the tightening grip of iron laws that have turned 87% of the people into a hunted section of society make South Africa anathema in an age that has engaged itself extensively with questions of human rights and dignity of the individual. South Africa has given to this century some of its greatest leaders who have come to symbolize the highest aspirations that reside in the human heart. Among them, the name of Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela is like a beacon light, signifying the struggle against oppression and injustice. In the face of mounting pressure from the world community, South Africa enters its third successive declaration of a 12-month state of emergency. Mandela's sharp, ingenious mind, combined with his single-minded dedication to the cause, has enabled him to make political capital even out of the trials and detentions he has had to face all through his life. His technique of turning the state machinery upon itself has not only made it impossible for him to be forgotten, but has perhaps made him more alive in the minds of people today than he was even in the early 60s. Jail became a reaffirmation of the covenant he had made almost 40 years ago with himself and his people.
I am in prison as the representative of the people and of your organization, the African National Congress, which was banned. What freedom am I being offered whilst the organization of the people remains banned? Only free men can negotiate. Prisoners cannot enter into contracts. My father says, I cannot and will not give any undertaking at a time when I and you, the people, are not free. Your freedom and mine cannot be separated. I will return. Amanda!
India honored him with the Jawaharlal Nehru Award for International Peace and Understanding.
I'm sure that when Nelson Mandela himself and those with him in jail come to know about what the people of India are doing, his mind will go back to that day in November, I think, 1980 it was, when he was awarded the great Jawaharlal Nehru Award. That was the most moving moment for him.
Born in the Umtata village of Transkei in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa, Mandela disavowed the chieftaincy of the Thembu people as he saw himself in the role of a nationalist early in life. After completing his education, he soon set up a legal office in the center of Johannesburg together with his close friend Oliver Tambo. In a society divided on color lines, it was not easy for a couple of black lawyers to have profitable business. But Tambo and Mandela occupied themselves with alleviating the plight of their folk, recognizing the need for a wide-ranging, unified organization to combat apartheid. Mandela set himself to mobilizing the people at the grassroots level. The emergence of India into political independence in 1947 had aroused much faith in a non-violent methodology of passive resistance for the attainment of political objectives. The Defiance Campaign of 1952, with Mandela as volunteer-in-chief and Kachalia, a Gandhiite, as his deputy, brought people of all shades and colors together. Earlier, in a sober and carefully deliberated decision after the Sharpeville massacre, in which 69 peaceful demonstrators were shot dead, Mandela had come to a similar decision.
There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people. And I think the time has come for us to consider, in the light of our experiences in this stay at home, whether the methods which we have applied so far are adequate.
It led to the erosion of fear. The generation of the 80s, motivated by hatred and anger, has increasingly taken to violence. This explosive energy can only become a force for constructive change if timely and judicious decisions are adopted even now. It requires the active and participatory leadership of those who still remember that negotiated settlement was the ultimate goal of the strategy of violence to counter violence.